Live. And
Hey everyone,
there. Live.
we good?
Yep. Yep, we are live.
Hey everyone, welcome to another broadcast on the Aaron's Talk Show on a fantastic Friday night. A lot of things to talk about tonight, as normal. We got into our first game of Week 9, so we'll get to go over that, discuss why Nick Mullins might be the best thing for the 49ers.
Sure thing.
I just wanted to start off by saying that I don't know if he's going to be their answer for the rest of this year over Berthard, but after watching last night's game, the highlights that I did watch, because I didn't really sit down to watch it, a 49ers-Raiders game that's basically who's going to want to lose more and try to get a first-round pick, or top pick, basically. And I feel like the Raiders really were trying to get the number 1 pick last night over the 49ers, because they just looked like absolute garbage out there. No one seemed to have any energy. Bruce Irvin, he's the highest paid player on their defense right now. He played 9 snaps yesterday.
Wait, really?
So, I don't know what Gruden's doing. Maybe he's trying to rebuild something that was built already and he didn't like that system, but I don't know what else is going on there.
Okay, you know what? If their highest paid defensive player only played 9 snaps last night, that's absolutely ridiculous. You've got to be thinking that they're going for that first round pick.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nick Mullins, hold on, let me pull up the stat line again because I had it up. And now, Nick Mullins was a 3rd-string quarterback that beat out Tom Savage. And don't get me wrong, Savage is just... I watched Savage play here in Houston, and he's not good. But, when you get beat by a nobody, you're bad.
You get beat by a 3rd-string quarterback nobody knows.
But, Nick Mullins went 16 for 22, 262 yards, 3 touchdowns. He didn't even get sacked once. His quarterback rating was 151.9. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's
A 3rd-string quarterback going up against, for his first ever time taking snaps, going up against an NFL team. That should never happen.
Yes, honestly, I don't know what else you could say for, for the Raiders, except for they're either A, just completely taking, or B, something's not right in Gruden's system. And, hopefully we'll be able to see them pick it up next year, especially in a division now where Kansas City and the Chargers are starting to look like people who are going to take a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I think, honestly, they've had to have given up on this season because there's no excuse for playing that terrible. If you just watch some of the film, the tackling, it wasn't there. It kind of looked like they weren't trying. Those plays where, Kittle, he had a great game. He's not open, but he makes those catches. It's like the defense isn't even trying. It's quite ridiculous, honestly.
So that brings me to my next question. With Berthard, potentially coming back next week and being a little bit more healthy than last week, do you think that? Do you think he should start? Do you think Berthard should start next week, or should Mullins just play out the rest of this year? Because you're 2-7, you're not really gonna make a playoff push. Unless if you just win these next 7 games and the rest of the NFC just blows up and sucks.
I would say
the Raiders just go 8-8 the rest of this year. then maybe. But like, do you start Mullins to see him grow and potentially use him as trade value next year before the draft for a team that might need a quarterback now?
I would say play him for draft picks. Yeah, play him. Try and get his trade value up. Kind of like what the Packers wanted to do with Brett Hundley. They wanted to get his trade value up, but he did horrible when he was starting, so that kind of made him drop down. If I was the 49ers, I would probably start him, to be honest.
I'd at least start him next week. Next week they play the Giants, and unless they also just find a spark defensively and offensively, that's another game the 49ers can just easily walk away with.
After trading Eli Apple, one of their better defensive players, I don't see them getting a defensive spark.
Especially since they've traded him and Snacks Harrison away. I don't see them.
I'm pretty sure after the trade deadline, you can tell which teams are rebuilding and which teams are done for the season.
Yeah.
I think.
So there's something interesting that happened before the game started during the anthem, and I don't want to try to talk into politics that much on here because I know that will spark more stuff.
Yeah.
For other people, but one of the cheerleaders on the 49ers teams took a knee. Do you think the NFL will do anything? Do you think they'll just be like, oh, whatever, This would probably happen with them being the 49ers. Maybe Kaepernick had something to do with this to try to get him back into the picture. Because after this whole thing with Nike, I've not seen a single thing about Kaepernick at all.
Neither have I.
It's just gone very quiet.
So I saw that question in, before we started our stuff. I saw it in, when I was going over stuff, what I was going to say, in my notes and stuff. I'm pretty sure that, of course, the NFL's not going to do anything about it. But, so, I'm pretty sure the cheerleaders for each team, it's like, I think it's like all private. It's like, their team, they work with it. I'm pretty sure that cheerleader will probably be disciplined or out of that squad just because they're supposed to look pretty to everybody, not just certain people. So that's kind of sad to say.
Yeah. I mean, the only other person that's done it this year, I believe, is Eric Reed.
And Marshawn.
Panthers, he's done it a couple of times.
Marshawn never stands
at least
for the
against
anthem.
the Eagles game, I saw him doing it, but I haven't seen anything since then.
Well, like Marshawn, he never stands for it, so.
No, I mean, Marshawn's a crazy man anyway, so, like, we're talking about the same dude that basically had Skittles get branded by him again, so. I mean, there's also that video out there of him driving around on the golf cart before. Was it before or after the game?
That was pre-game, yeah.
That was pre. I mean, that man's crazy himself, so I'm not surprised that he doesn't stand for.
Apparently, it, according to reports and him himself, it has nothing to do with politics. It's nothing to do with that. It's just something he's never done. So.
I mean, see, that's fine. Like, he came out and said that. He said that to himself, that, hey, I don't do this just for me. This is not what I do.
Yeah.
Not, hey, I'm trying to, pick a fight with anyone or anything like that. And that's completely fine. Like, I get the backlash behind it for both sides, but it's just something he does.
Yeah.
If he's done it all of his career, then I don't think you fault the man for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's it's not something he picked up throughout the league. So I don't see any reason why anybody would really start hating him now, besides like Colin Kaepernick and all that. That's all I would have to really say about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. So, Carr last night got benched in the fourth quarter, which sometimes happens when a team gets blown out by another team because you don't want your starter to get hurt, because that can hurt you down the line. You rather let your backup play, and I get it. It's it's kind of demoralizing for that player at that moment that, hey, I feel like this, so especially at the quarterback position, because they're kind of the team leader,
Yeah.
and they got to lead the team to victory. Um, this brings up my next topic I wanted to talk about, which was, I have a couple other quarterbacks that we could talk about as well, but what do you think Derek Carr's tenure, like, do you trade him away, or do you think that Gruden might try to keep him and build around him?
Great question. Great topic. This is a topic I've been thinking about for a while. Personally, I love Derek Carr. I just do not think him in Oakland do not fit. He's kind of like trying to shove the square block through the circle hole. He just doesn't seem to incorporate himself very well with the offense. He likes tight ends. He has Jared Cook. He doesn't really too much enjoy throwing to wide receivers. When he had Amari, sometimes he would throw it deep downfield to him. I've never really seen anything to lead me to believe Derek Carr really fits with the Raiders offense. So looking at it, let's see. I would have to say that the Raiders should maybe keep him for another year. But I'm pretty sure John Gruden does not like Derek Carr. Just based on
if I was Carr, I would try to get out of there.
Yeah,
if I could. Last night he threw 16 for 21 and 171 yards. So no interceptions, no touchdowns. He got sacked 7 times.
And that's ridiculous.
Last night.
He doesn't have an O-line.
By 49ers.
Well, did you see the Raiders' best O-lineman? I forgot his name. I do not have it right now. He was on the trade block.
Donald Penn, I believe it is.
Oh wait, okay,
no,
maybe
not Penn. It's
it was
Kalichi Osemele.
Yeah, I
believe
think so.
That's his name.
Well, yes, that is the player. I just don't remember if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Yes, he was on the trade block. And
yeah, he was on the block when the deadline came up, because I was reading about it, because on a Bleacher Report I followed the Texans, and that was someone that the Texans were actually like interested in.
And
I guess nothing went forward with that.
Yeah, but that's still ridiculous. You're gonna trade away one of your best linemen to an already depleted O-line, and that's just kind of the dumbest thing I've ever seen, to be honest.
Yeah. And maybe Gruden's doing this to get back at the league for something that we don't know about. Maybe this is just like, y'all let me go out and let this team pay $100 million to keep me here for 10 years. And now I'm just gonna show you what happens when you mess with me. I'm gonna which is very not / Las Vegas fans, because the Raiders will be in Vegas. Is it next year or 2020?
2020, I think, is when the stadium's gonna be built.
Okay, so if you're in Las Vegas and you like football at all, and you see what the Raiders have become this year, unless if Gruden turns it around next year, I don't think you're too happy to have someone like the Raiders come into your town, especially something that is as popular as Vegas is.
Definitely.
But I feel like if I'm Derek Carr right now, I want to get out of there. I want to go to a team that I can actually help out.
If
the Jags are looking for a quarterback,
yeah,
Chargers might need a quarterback with Rivers retiring sometime soon.
Actually, if I was Derek Carr, I'd want to go to the Jaguars over almost any other team. The Jaguars. To be 100%.
Yeah, I could see him going. I think that might be a good fit for him.
The Jaguars, if they could just get him a number 1 receiver. As soon as who was hurt? I don't remember who the regular number 1 receiver.
I think his name was Corey Grant. Is that his name?
No, he's the running back. Just wait.
No, that was the. Oh, it's Marquise Lee. Marquise Lee.
Is it? Yeah, and he's hurt.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I really feel like, I just really feel like that Derek Carr would love to go to a team like the Jaguars, who, if their defense can figure out what the heck went wrong, because they had a great defense last year. This year it's mediocre, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, their defense this year is still pretty. Last week, and they were able to keep Wentz basically held for most of the game until right around the end when you know, push came to shove. So I mean, I feel like, you know, maybe I think it falls on the offense for the Jags this year. I think, you know, I hate to put the blame all on Bortles, but after seeing him play and the way he plays sometimes and seeing him how he's played for years,
yeah,
you know, it's hard for me to believe that they have to stick with him with quarterback. They either got to get a quarterback that they can put in for a couple of years, or draft someone that they can trust to do better than what Bortles has done.
I just feel like Bortles, he works okay when you have somebody like Leonard Fournette, but then when they get hurt, like we see this year, you see the full effect of Bortles. He's just not good. He's not accurate. I guess one good thing you could say about Bortles is he doesn't fumble too much, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
It's,
you could say that.
Like, I mean, he gets sacked a decent amount of times. But I don't really see too much of an upside for... I don't see why the Jaguars gave him an extension either. I really don't.
I mean, it was only a 2-year extension, so, you know.
Well, it was 3-year.
It's like...
I think it was like $37 million.
Yeah.
Still, like, I don't know. I don't see why they would. I don't see why they would go and why they wouldn't go and trade up for a try and get a quarterback in the draft.
Oh, well, I don't read this, but breaking news, I guess San Antonio is now going to have an NFL team.
Oh, what?
Yeah. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierenberg says city will have an NFL team within 10 years. So, I mean, it's not like, you know, tomorrow, but for them to come out and say, hey, we want a team and we want, you know.
So I guess maybe that could confirm the London team then. You know, I don't think the league would have an odd number of teams. Maybe that could confirm the London team. Huh. That's actually kind of weird.
That would open up at least one more division. At least 4 more teams, because I mean, unless if you had divisions with 2 divisions with 5 teams. Yeah.
No, they would need another 3 teams. I could see it. I could see a Mexico team, a London team.
Yeah, I think
Antonio,
having a London team is hard though, because like that time difference when you fly over to, you know, Europe and London and all that, like that's got to put a strain on some players, and I feel like either you gotta give that team, when it's their turn to play at home field, you gotta give them a stretch of games to play at home field, or vice versa. You can't just have them go back and forth, because I think that would wear a team down a lot quicker than a cross-country trip.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like I don't really see why the league is going for a London team. Like, I just keep on seeing these reports about it, and it's like, you know, it's something that you just don't really understand. Like, it's the National Football League, you know, national, the United States, not transnational, multiple, international.
Yeah. Yeah, international. You know, International Football League instead of National Football League.
Yeah. It's just something that's kind of weird. I guess we'll have to see what comes. Still think it's something pretty weird.
Yeah. So moving on with the topic that we were talking about, my next person I have on my list for 10 years is Jameis Winston.
And I love this one as well.
And I don't think Winston's a bad quarterback. I think he's just not on the right team.
Mm-hmm.
And because I mean, yes, he has his turnovers, and yes, his one loss record isn't great. But I honestly think you put him on a team with a little bit better system and something that he could grow around a little bit more. I think he could come out and be a decent quarterback.
I think so. If he goes into an offense sort of like Bill Belichick, that do your job, you worry about yourself, worry about your own stuff before anything else. I feel like that would be a sort of offense that Jameis would thrive in. Sort of like you see Josh Gordon with the Patriots. He's been doing pretty decent. He has, he hasn't turned into a superstar, but he's been doing pretty decent. I guess what you would expect him to be. Maybe a little bit underperforming, but that receiver group is stacked. So,
oh man, I was kind of upset when Tampa said they wouldn't trade Deshaun Jackson because they're in a win now mode. I was like, dude, if Deshaun Jackson went to somewhere like Houston or like the Rams or, basically anywhere where some team would need some kind of speedster wide receiver to go over the top,
mm-hmm.
he'd help a team win almost immediately. So it shocked me when, the report came out that the Bucs said, oh, we're not trading him.
Yeah,
we want to win now. And you look at their division, and they got the Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons. And I mean,
not easy.
The Falcons are the lowest of those three teams right now, but that's because injuries have just destroyed them this year. I feel bad every time I watch the Falcons play because I'm just like, no matter, you have to score at least 40 points a game to hope that you win.
Yeah.
Teams. So I mean, maybe what are they, 4-4 right now? I could see them going 9-7 this year.
I could see that.
Maybe even third in the division.
So so it's been official that Ryan Fitzpatrick is the starter again. If he plays like he did those first 2 weeks, I could see the Bucs going. I could see them honestly going 10-6, 100% honest.
I mean, I could see it. They have a couple hard games they got to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the Saints and the Panthers. I think they have to play them at least one more time now.
Yeah, I think.
Or have
so.
they? Hold on, I can pull up their schedule real quick.
Okay. But if those are the teams that they have to play, if they would lose games, I would say they would. Okay, I'm just gonna go out and say it. They would beat Carolina, 100%. The Saints, no way. I would say they would beat Carolina though.
Okay, so here's the remaining schedule for the Bucs. They play the Redskins this week.
Okay.
Giants next week. 49ers the week after that. Panthers, Saints. After that, Ravens, Cowboys, Falcons to finish out the year. I could see them winning against Giants, 49ers, Ravens, Cowboys, Falcons. I don't think they could beat the Panthers.
I do not think so.
I know that if they got hot, maybe they could, but I think that defense on the Panthers has come together. And Newton's playing a really good year this year. He's not had a lot of mistakes. He's been healthy. He got Greg Olson back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, after watching that Eagles game, I think he's going to, he's going to give the MVP race a small run for its money. Because, you got to look at what he's doing this year. And you got to say, hey, it's not bad.
Yeah. Let's see. I could maybe see... I guess I could see them beating the Redskins this week, to be 100% honest. It's just...
It just depends on what Redskins team they get.
To
do
be
they
honest,
get the Redskins team that's been winning for the last couple of weeks, or do they get the Redskins team that got destroyed by Green Bay and
mm-hmm.
Who else did they get trounced by?
I don't remember. I think if Adrian Peterson... I think the game will come down to Adrian Peterson. If he plays well, the Redskins will win.
Yeah, it's crazy how well he's playing for how old he is.
It is. Let me just pull up his stats here. It's just honestly crazy. I never thought that a running back that old could be getting these 60-some yard rush touchdowns.
I mean, if you think about it, though, he was out for a year without injury.
Mm-hmm.
It was training when that whole thing happened with his kid.
Yeah.
And so, you don't have to go to the terror of getting hit every week and, traveling and all that. You could stay home and practice and train and keep your body in shape. I mean, you could... I think Peterson could play probably another 2 or 3 years before he decides to retire.
Well, hear this. Adrian Peterson already has over 100 more yards than he had all of last year. He has 587 rushing yards, 4.6 yard average, 4 touchdowns. He has 2 games over 100 yards. A lot of games really close to 100 yards. He has 3 games 4 yards shy of or within 4 yards shy of 100 rushing yard games.
And see, that's just crazy. How old is he? He's 33 this year? 32, 33?
I can't quite remember. I'll check it up. I'll check it out. 33 years. So, that's just crazy. 100. I can't believe he is playing so well.
Yeah. I just... That's one that, I think he'll be Hall of Fame first ballot, even without winning a championship,
no way.
just by how he's been playing recently.
Well, if you look at it, he changed the way that running backs play the game. They can be shifty, but they can also be bruising. And they can be...
Yeah.
They can be quick on their feet, and they can also just destroy anybody just in a one-on-one tackle versus running back.
Yeah. I think the Redskins might... I don't think they'll win it all this year. There's too many good teams to see right now. But I think they can win maybe the wild card in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Very easily, just based on who they'll play.
Quite honestly, I really want Adrian Peterson to get a ring before he retires. So I would not mind seeing a Redskins Super Bowl win.
Hell, even if it's not with the Redskins,
Yeah.
Any team, if he gets on a run with the Super Bowl, that'd be nice for him to see. That's one of those guys you want to see win,
Like
that's
him, Larry Fitz, a few other players.
Yeah. But so, moving on with the topic that we had going, my next quarterback I had on my list was Marcus Mariota. Now this one's an interesting one because I believe he will stay with Tennessee for a while. I think once they work some things out down the road, he might get back into a better form. I don't think they just have all the pieces for him.
Mhm.
However, maybe, just maybe, they move him to try to get better trade value down the road. Maybe they see someone in the draft that piques their interest more than Mariota has been playing.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Mariota. He's one of my more favorite quarterbacks in the league. He doesn't, it's not like he's not smart with the football, but in tense situations, he just isn't really who you want, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
If you want, he's basically another quarterback that needs a running back, who needs a decent running back to help take some of the stress off of him. So then he can make those play action reads, all those simple downfield reads, instead of getting hit every single time he gets the ball. And that's something the Titans haven't had.
Yeah. I think when DeMarco Murray retired, when he did, I think that actually hurt the team because, they had the two backs. They had Henry and they had Murray.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to, use both of them their versatility really well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, it's on their team right now. Who did they sign this year? Can't remember his name. It wasn't White that they signed. Was it James White that they signed, or is he still
yes, it was.
a Patriot?
Wait,
It
no.
was James White. I think,
I
they could
actually
get
can't
something
remember.
out of White, but I think maybe they need to draft another running back or sign someone.
Mm-hmm.
Le'Veon Bell could end up as a Titan, and that might help them out a lot.
Actually thinking about that, I'm considering you just brought it up, I'm gonna touch a little bit on this. Le'Veon Bell, I do not think will play any of this season. To be 100% honest, I think Le'Veon is going to be traded this offseason, and the Titans, if that happens, they need to make a run for it. They need to try and get him. Getting somebody like Le'Veon could just...
I still think the Titans need a true number one wide receiver. I think they have great 2s and 3s that they can use.
Mm-hmm.
But as a number one guy, I really think they should go out and try to get someone either through the draft or free agency. There's someone they can, rely to day in and day out. I think that would help Mariota out a lot because he has guys that drop a lot of passes and, that gets frustrating for someone that, you don't have a reliable dude. A lot of these teams that are playoff teams or teams trying to make a playoff push, they all have good number ones. The Texans, they have Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots have Edelman and Gronkowski. Chiefs have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They have all these guys that, come in, day out, and just basically ball out.
Yeah.
And do what they need to do to help their team win. I don't think the Titans have that right now. I think if they get a receiver and a decent running back, I think, the Titans can be better next year.
Yeah, that 100%. That's something I can see too. It's just more of who's there really. I'm not too much into too many other teams in college. Only a few. I don't really know if there's too many very good receivers in the draft, so maybe they'll have to go towards free agency or trades.
Before we continue, do you want to bring in Barry in
Yes.
for a little bit, and we can just talk about get into the next, talk about the next segment, and maybe he can touch up on a couple things that we've brought up.
Yep, I can bring him in. Oh, I did not see any of his messages. I didn't see any of your messages.
Hello.
Barry, how's it going, man?
It's going good, going good. My mic was off. so you know.
It's all good. We've started the show and we've talked about some things. I'll bring a couple things up to you, and maybe you could put your input in. Well, I can tell you what we're talking about right now. Right now, we're talking about a couple quarterbacks' tenures and their futures with the teams. One of them being Derek Carr, another being Jameis Winston, and the last one being Mariota. And we're just trying to, we're just talking about, what's going to happen to them down the road. Will they stay with their team? What will their future play out to be?
In my humble opinion, if the Buccaneers want to have a chance of making the playoffs, they need to move on from Jameis Winston.
All right.
I think Jameis Winston has proven time and time again that he's not reliable. Carr, I don't really know. I don't really know what to say about Carr because what's happening with that team is confusing. Because what was it, 2 years ago? They were like 13-3,
12-4.
Yeah,
12-4, and they were in the playoffs. And then Carr gets hurt,
and it goes downhill.
And then they're awful.
Yeah.
You go out and you hire Gruden because for some reason you think he's going to bring that glory, even though, in my opinion, Gruden is stuck in the past when it comes to building an NFL team.
100%.
And Gruden flips everything on end. Deals Khalil Mack to the Bears, gets rid of Cooper. And it's like, this team was a good team. They were a team that was up and coming. They had good young talent. And now I'm pretty sure I just read that they have the most players on one NFL team 30 plus years old.
It's just an old team.
It's an old team. And John Gruden is playing old football.
Definitely.
And basically in a ball era where it's about explosiveness, basically. We've seen it with the Rams, Saints, Texans, The only team I could say that plays old football in a sense, and it works, is the Patriots. And they
I was
don't really
just going to say,
old
you're going to say Patriots.
Well, yeah. But they play old football in the sense that Belichick's like, this is my way, and it works, and we're going to use this every time until it doesn't work. And then we'll use my plan B. And if you don't like that, you're off of my team. Good luck trying to win a ring with anyone else, because you damn well know we'll be in the playoffs every year until I die.
Yeah.
You know what I think the real problem with John Gruden is?
What's that?
You know who his favorite player is?
Not
Who's his favorite player?
Mike Allstott.
Oh,
Who?
gosh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the problem. Mike Allstott, he was the fullback for the Buccaneers for 12 years and won the Super Bowl with them back when Gruden was the coach. That's the problem. Is that because John Gruden didn't coach for what? 10 years? For a long time. The last time he coached, he had that old style of football team. And so he's coming so now he's coming into the league being like, you know what, maybe I can do this again. Maybe I can build a team around, these heavy players. And it just doesn't work. He's trying to, I guess I understand what he's doing. He's trading away all these players for first-round picks. And, when you have a team that has 3 first-round picks and you're not the Browns, you've got to be able to do something with it. And so I think this upcoming draft for them is going to be incredibly interesting. I could honestly see them getting rid of Carr because I think Carr is playing
you have
like
like this.
Still
No, you have like this little
and
you're
that's the
upset
problem.
about
That's the
everything.
thing, though. Carr here.
Okay, like Devin has your
Carr
blanket.
stats
It's
last
not
night.
the end of the world.
Carr went
It's 8:30.
16
You're
for
not
21,
that tired.
171
How long the heck
yards,
did you
0
stay
touchdowns,
up?
0 interceptions. Which, no interceptions?
I
That's
stayed up
great.
till 3:30. I'm not
that's
tired.
kind of yes. But, the part of the reason was he got sacked 7 times last night.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I mean,
I'm
is
doing
he
something
on
and I
record,
have
or
to
is
talk
he on
to you.
pace right now
You
to
can't be
break the
talking
record
when
for
I am,
most
okay?
times
But
sacked
when
in a
they're
season?
talking, so you have to be quiet.
I believe so.
Can you do that?
I'm trying to pull up.
Which I feel like they don't have a bad offensive line. Donald Penn, Khalid, I'm gonna butcher that name.
You're not muted,
Kalichi
okay?
Asamel,
Please be quiet.
Also Miller.
Asameli, something like that. You know, they've got.
Here's another one. Against the Seahawks, 21 for 31, 142 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Got sacked 6 times that game.
That's, those passing numbers. That's like backup QB numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that he doesn't have a coach. I mean, yeah, Cooper, but
Cooper drops everything.
Cooper wasn't great.
Cooper. I mean, Cooper went to the best team, I think, honestly, because he just likes to drop the ball, just like everyone else on the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, like I said, they basically went out and traded for a younger Dez Bryant.
Except for with Owl, is that Dez Bryant. Like this is just Dez Bryant if he was a good kid back in school. Against like the only game Carr didn't get sacked. They got blown out, and that was against the Colts. He threw 21 for 28, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He didn't take a single sack. And they lost. They got destroyed by the Colts, 42-20.
Oh, I guess we're.
Yo, you guys talking bad shit for the next point this time.
Oh, jeez.
Scoot.
This
is one-on-one.
Oh Lord, we better end the broadcast now before everything catches on fire.
And he's gone.
I pulled him out. All right.
But no, like I think me and Aaron were talking about it, and I think the best place for Carr right now would be the Jags. I think they need a quarterback that can help them win now, because their defense. I mean, yes, their defense has had some problems this year, but overall has been a decent defense. Has been, to me, a top 5 defense, except for these last few weeks where things have seemed to be teetering, whether or not they're going to try to make a playoff push or if they're going to try to go get a draft pick that's good for that team. So I feel like Carr going to that team and them going out to get, Aaron said this basically, getting a number 1 wide receiver, a true number 1 with Marquise Lee coming back, I feel like, they could win next year with Derek Carr. They could do a lot better than with Bortles.
Yeah, I could see that. Marcus Mariota. I think right now what Mariota has going for him is he has a playoff win under his belt.
Yes.
But that's about it.
And he went like God mode in the playoffs, so that helps.
Yeah, he made it. He did something that Jameson knew. He's made it to the playoffs and he's won a playoff game.
Please.
That's the big difference.
I still remember the game that they played against the Titans. The year they both got drafted, and the Bucks and the Titans played each other.
Wasn't his first pass a pick six?
Yes, Woodson's first pass was a pick 6, and that game was, I think, a 50-point game between both of them. Had up to 50 points between the two of them,
and a lot of interceptions.
Yes, it was a true it was a crazy shootout game, that game.
Yeah,
and me personally, I think if the Titans went out and got this same thing with Carr. If they got him a true number 1 receiver, because if you look at their receiver list, it's not bad, but it's not great either. It's not someone it's not a team that has anyone. I think they're all great 2s and 3s.
Yeah,
but I don't think any one of them is a 1.
Yeah,
and then
just a
their
true
running
number
back,
1.
Their running back thing, DeMarco Murray. He retired this year, which I personally, even though they got James White, I think that hurt them, because I don't think Henry is that every down back that they need.
Yeah,
going
I
down
agree
the
with
stretch. I think he might be, great goal line back, great back to have, for short yard but I don't think he's, that guy that Murray was. But Murray was able to get good burst off. And then, White, he's not really a great running back either, but he's a good pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think if they went out, if Bell comes back, even though he won't play, I don't think Bell's going to play. I think if he comes back to at least, sign, hey, I'm here, you can trade me this offseason or just let me go, whatever. I think the Titans should go for him because he's an every down back. And I think if they got someone like Bell and they got someone like a number one receiver just through the draft or through free agency, I think the Titans could be a dangerous team because you look at that defense and, you don't see a lot of big names, but you see people, that defense is pretty good. They beat the Eagles. The teams that they've won against, are decent wins for them. Their defense showed up. They played. They did what they need to do to win. You don't. They do have Malcolm Butler and like Kevin Bard and Logan Ryan.
I mean, let's be honest. Any team that gets blasted by the Dolphins, not a good team.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean,
But the
it's not like the Dolphins
team.
are having a bad season. I'm sure you agree with that.
I mean, we're 4-4.
If they get healthy at the right time, I think the Dolphins could potentially make a playoff push, especially since the AFC. Yes, there's a good set of teams that are good, but most of the AFC is bad. And I think the Dolphins could play well off of that.
Yeah, there's definitely not a heavy push for our division. I mean, I can't see either the Jets or the Bills having close to a winning season. I could see the Dolphins potentially going 8-8, 9-7, making a wild card, losing to the Steelers again. But
that's something I want to. Actually, we could go into that now. That was something on the next segment that I wanted to bring up was how divisions are gonna, wrap up for most teams. So before we get too deep into that, we were just talking about the game last night, and Nick Mullins just absolutely destroying the Raiders. It looked like he was playing a bunch of 5-year-olds. Do you think Nick Mullins should start the rest of this year to try to help San Francisco get some trade value for him?
I think
100%.
Because I mean, next week they play the Giants next week.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's gonna be an easy win.
Tank Bowl.
I mean, yeah, easily. I mean, Saquon could easily go off and just utterly destroy that
Just
team.
thrash him. I could easily see him having a 200
I could
yard
see
game.
I could see Saquon having a 200-some yard rushing game. So anybody watching this for fantasy advice, start Saquon.
Start Saquon next week.
Yeah, that's something else I think we should get to for this. But division winner, I have on my notes division winner predictions, and I think this year on the AFC side, I think for the North will be Pittsburgh and Bengals will be their 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
East will be Patriots, Dolphins. West will be Chiefs, Chargers.
Okay.
And I mean,
that second place is anybody's game right now. I mean, 3-4, 3-5, 3-5. That's.
I think the Colts have the best out of all. The Colts are starting to play better now, and Luck looks decent.
I mean, considering the Jags are on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
But I think Patriots finish out 12-4, either 1 or 2. Dolphins finish out 8-8, 9-7. If they could get healthy, I'm hoping. I honestly am rooting for the Dolphins to get healthy because
we usually have a 75% chance of beating the Patriots in Miami. That's usually
it's
a good
it's always
game.
great. It's great. Like I swear every year y'all trade off wins. You
Yeah,
lose. Miami, Miami loses in Gillette Stadium, and then it usually comes down to the fourth quarter. At least the last
It's
time
usually
it happened.
27-20. It's usually the
Yes.
final score.
Yes, and it's just great to watch that game because no matter what happens, I feel like the Patriots are destined just to lose 1-1 game in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's always really funny listening to some of the Patriots fans be like, "Oh, easy, clean sweep on the AFC East." Like, I don't think you guys have had a clean sweep on the AFC East since you went undefeated.
Yes.
Like, you lost to the Bills that one year, got shut out by the Bills
I think
that one year,
Didn't they lose to the Jets when
a couple of years ago. I'm
when they
pretty
made
sure.
their playoff push? Didn't they lose to the Jets one time?
I could see that.
I think it was when Decker was playing for the Jets. I think they actually lost to the Jets. I think it was an overtime game. I think Decker caught the touchdown to win the game.
Okay, that would make sense. I would see that.
But yeah, I could see it being Patriots 12-4, Dolphins if healthy 9-7. If Tannehill doesn't come back, if some of these receivers don't come back from after being injured,
Yeah.
I say 7-9 at the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
North, I say Bengals 10-6, Pittsburgh 9-7, 10-6, but the Bengals somehow just have more division wins than Pittsburgh, or vice versa. I can see that one going either way for those two. West, Chiefs, I'm gonna say 14-2, 13-3, as their final, easily a 1. Chargers 11-5. I think the Chargers are one of the better teams this year that no one's really about. Like,
Yeah,
overall,
definitely.
they're making plays and stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't even have Joey Bosa right now. What happens when Bosa comes back and he
Their defense
starts terrorizing the
Their
offense?
defense goes from B grade to A grade, basically. Like,
Yes.
it's just insane how much he affected that defense last year.
Yes.
I don't have his stats up right now, but I know they're all very impressive, and he could have won Defensive Player of the Year.
I'm gonna hot take right now. If the Rams can beat the Saints and the Chiefs, they'll go 16-0.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
If they beat both of those teams.
Because the Seahawks don't stand a chance.
Nope.
Lions and Bears, I realistically don't see them standing a chance.
Dude, they play the Texans this year?
They do not.
They do not. Okay. I
No,
thought
they
did.
play the last 3. There's 3 games on the last bit of their schedule. Upsets, and that's Saints, Chiefs, Eagles.
The Rams
I
luck,
don't think
though.
they're
They
losing
would
to the
lose their
Eagles.
last game.
Yeah, and I don't really. Right now, I don't see them losing to the Eagles.
But yeah, so South, I think the Texans this year, I think O'Brien will get off the 9-7 curse, and the Texans will go 11-5 or 10-6. I think that team is getting hot at the right time and can be dangerous to the teams like the Chiefs or the Patriots if they continue to play as hot as they have been. These, people will say that people look at the scores and look at other things, so they're like, oh, Texans, they have wins that they, like, there's more to it. Like, I've seen Watson play every week because I live in Houston, so my father, he's the Houston fan, so we watch the Texans game every week. And from week 1 till now, Watson wasn't at 100% week 1. He is back to 100% now. He is at what he was last year before he got hurt, bombing the ball down the field, able to make big plays happen when they.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think the Colts can easily go 10-6, 9-7, especially against that division. I see I see them beating the Texans once, and they trading a 1-1 for the division.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Looking at it, I think the most competitive is more than likely going to be the NFC.
I mean, you look at the NFC South; they got 4 teams, and yes, the Bucks are the worst team in that division. Just
but with Fitzmagic back at helm,
yes, if Ryan Fitzpatrick comes back and he plays anything like those first 2 weeks where he just dominated the Saints and who they play afterwards.
Breaking news, Scoop. What is breaking news? Hold on, folks. We have a breaking news report incoming.
Also, a new report. John Gruden explains.
Carson Wentz arrested for homicide?
Oh my god.
God.
At first, you got me when I heard arrest. I was like, "What?" And then
Oh God.
like,
Oh
what?
my god. I'm gonna throw hands.
But John Gruden
That's
explains why the
just-
Raiders' highest-paid defensive player played 9 snaps on Thursday.
Jesus Christ.
Bruce Irvin, their highest paid $8 million this year, played 9 snaps. And Gruden's really the fourth system, and he has not fit that system. And I'm just like, you either take your losses and you cut him, or you just trade him. Go let him play for a team that can actually play for it.
Yeah.
That needs, linebacker help, pass rush help. But
Look at the. Oh, sorry. You're good. My bad.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at the NFC North, and realistically, I could see any one of these teams winning the division.
As a Lions fan, if the Lions could get their heads out of the ass, I really think they could take that division. I don't think this year they can, but if this team can take a step, I think we finally found a running back that we can use for the next 10.
Definitely. Kerryon Johnson is a beast.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson's gonna help that run game.
Yeah, because we all know it's Miami definitely has the best run stopping defense.
And the best running back.
Except for these past 2 weeks. But I feel like the Lions are right there. They're missing. I don't even know what it is. I look at this team. Maybe it might be a pass rusher or maybe secondary help. Something defensively. To me, it's something defensively, because offensively, the Lions are good. I think maybe if they got a tight end, even though the guy that they have right now, he's doing pretty well. I think his last name is Roberts. I think it's Michael Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't you guys just pick up Damon Harrison?
Yes, we just traded for Damian Harrison for a 5th round Giants.
So I mean, he
Steal.
might be your answer. I don't ever like to judge players off of week 1 trade moves, because it takes players a while to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, new scheme,
Yeah.
new players, new atmosphere, basically.
Yeah.
You go from an atmosphere where the Giants are 1-7 as well right now, to an atmosphere where Lions, are 3-4, and they have a chance to win some more games and make a run for the playoffs. So
Yeah, any team in this NFC North division could make the playoffs.
Honestly, the only team I don't trust is the Bears. I really don't trust the Bears, and this sounds wrong, and I know I'm gonna probably get a lot of frack from Bears fans, because they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're just a Lions fan."
Ditka incoming. I know you're coming, buddy.
Swayze.
I don't trust this team. I know they've shown sparks, but something about Trubisky just throws me off. I'm not saying he's bad. I think Trubisky can be good. Something just not there for me to tell me that, hey, this team is a good playoff team. And I'm not saying the Lions are either. The Lions aren't a perfect team. I think the Packers, nothing against you, Aaron. Rodgers is God-given talent.
Yep.
I hate that, they don't help him out. I really do. I hate
So
that
do
they
I.
don't help Rodgers out. As much as it irks me to see that man play against the Lions, and just, it's just one of those things that, you gotta help Rodgers out. You gotta just, he is balling out every week to help you win. And
He's
you're giving
playing
these,
with a
you're
deep
not,
bone bruise that keeps most players out for 6 to 7 weeks. He's played on it the entire season. And you know what we do? Our defense plays like trash. We give them no offensive help. That's it. We get Aaron Jones. He's going. But no, we're not going to help him by running the ball. We're going to give him no plays during the entire second half. It's just dumb.
I think Aaron Jones might start to do better with Montgomery gone.
Yeah.
I just... Rodgers is a different team. I think he'd have rings.
Yeah.
To be honest, and it's nothing against McCarthy. I think it's your ownership. I think your general manager needs to get fired, and y'all need someone new to I think y'all need someone new to make those plays in free agencies, make splashes. Because I mean, y'all have a decent cap room, right? Y'all aren't trying to scrounge out money.
I mean, after this season, Clay Matthews is probably gonna be gone. So yeah,
we'll take him.
I think anyone will take Matthews. If they look what the Texans quote unquote fired Rick Smith. You know, he stepped away because his wife is sick right now. I think that was just his best excuse he could give instead of saying, "Hey, I got fired. Here's this new guy." Gang comes in, he's made a couple good moves, and I mean the Texans. I mean, he signed Tyrann Mathieu. He traded for Demaryius Thomas. They didn't have a pick till the third round, and they got Justin Reed, who is coming a better. I feel like sometimes people just need a new manager, and I think if the Packers can get that, I can see the Packers going to the Super Bowl before Rodgers retires.
Yeah, I can see that too. It's just our offense is so predictable now. It's just the same stuff over and over. No fresh plays. McCarthy's just not like that. We need something different. Our defense, it plays great for about maybe a quarter and a half. Then the rest of the game, it's just they figured us out, so we can't do anything now.
On the Vikings though, I think the Vikings are another team that are just right there, and I think Kirk Cousins is going to do them well over the next couple of years. Retire as a Viking. They might re-sign him after his 3-year deal, but I think they need one piece somewhere. I can't tell where it is because their defense is good, their offense is pretty good. I just think there's something. Maybe when Dalvin Cook comes back from injury, it can help spark the run game a little bit more, and maybe that's the push they need to get over that edge and help them, solidify themselves as a playoff / Super Bowl team. Because at the beginning of the year, a lot of people had high hopes for the Vikings, and now they're 4-3-1.
Yeah, if there's one thing I would have to say about Kirk Cousins is, if you watch his tape, he holds onto the ball so long that it puts him into these bad situations. He'll hold onto the ball and then he'll step up into a collapsing pocket. It's just he just holds onto the ball too long. I think that's something he does need to fix with his game.
Going on to the South, I think, the NFC South, that's just a crazy division. I honestly think that might be the best division in the NFC as competitive as I think every team there, even with the Bucks being who the Bucks are, I think every team, just basically throws punches the entire year. There's never a moment for that division where a team looks like they just suck. There's always something great and crazy going on in that division. And I think near the end of the year, I think that division race might be close between, Saints, Carolina, and the Falcons. I think if the Falcons could turn around a couple things and get their defense, back to, maybe 50% of what they were last year, because their defense was, pretty wild last year. It wasn't the best, but it made plays when they needed to, and a lot of people on defense got hurt. But I feel like if they can, get back to what they were half of last year, I feel like the Falcons can make a run in that division, as well as the other two teams, the Saints and the Panthers. Because Cam Newton, that man's playing pretty well. He's not making the mistakes he's made in the past years. He's not doing things. He's not the Cam Newton I've seen past years, even when Super Bowl run. I feel like he took a big step in mental maturity for the most part. I know he still has a swagger to him, likes to ball out.
Yeah.
I don't know if any one of y'all follow him on Instagram, but I do, and his Instagram is just hilarious. When they came back and beat Philadelphia, he always posts videos of highlights of their wins, and the song he picked for that video was Philadelphia by Meek Mill, which is basically a song about Philadelphia, and he put it as the track for highlights of them coming back and beating the Eagles. And I think Cam can take that team to the Super Bowl. And then the Saints are, they're a firepower team. I think this weekend when they play the Rams, it's going to be a great game. They're going to come out guns blazing and try to beat this unbeaten team. And, they're easily a Super Bowl team. So, but the other two teams, I feel like can easily, take a step in the right direction. Even though they're both doing the right things, if they take another step in the right direction, I feel like they can unhinge the Saints up from the top of that division, and either one of those teams can win the South over them.
Definitely. Do we have any more topics?
And then that leaves the East and the West. The East.
Oh yeah.
I see the Redskins winning that division.
100%. I mean,
I feel like the Redskins can win that division just due to the fact that none of those other teams, even the Eagles, I think the Eagles can make it interesting, but I just think the Redskins are starting to get everything together in the right way at the right time. Kind of like Houston is. I really am looking forward to that, to the Texan-Redskin match here in about 2 weeks. I think that's going to be a great game overall, offensively and defensively. Maybe with this Golden Tate trade, the Eagles get a step in the right place, and they, they might beat the Redskins out. But if the Redskins continue to play how they've been playing, I don't see the Redskins losing this division.
Neither do I. As long as, I guess, AP just plays as well as he's been playing, I think the Redskins are good.
So we've been home an hour. I didn't know that.
No. Why do you think I was? I said be right back. It's a break.
Moving on to the West. Rams are a lock for that division. Rams are a lock for that division, and I don't think anyone's taking that from them for a while. Even
No.
with Seattle, I feel like, you know, that's Seattle's, and that's the Rams division for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I can see the Rams really. I can't see them tanking. They looked about the same as they did versus the Packers. The Packers, you know, they almost beat them, but it just never really. Packers just couldn't get it done. Montgomery. You know, I can't see the Rams tanking. Guarantee you, they win
Yeah,
this division.
I don't think so either. I don't think they. I mean, all their players. There's, you know, they have a few older players like, you know, Sue's 30 this year. Talib is 31. So I mean, you know, you got to replace those down the line. But you know, you got Marcus and Aaron Donald as kind of like, not their replacements, but you know, they can take those roles over as number ones. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure Donald might be the defensive tackle over Stu. I think Aaron Donald also proved that you don't need preseason to be good if you're a good player. I think he full on showed the league that hey, that preseason, you know, preseason is a waste of time. Can get a lot of good players early on, but that's more or less my opinion than anything. Like, maybe preseason would be good for rookies, but I think personally, I think they should shorten the preseason by a week or two and make the regular season longer to try to keep games and divisions competitive.
Definitely, I would agree with that. Lots of players, they hate preseason, just because of the injuries that happen during it. Yeah, I agree with that. Shorten it, make the regular season longer.
Barry, do you have, you know, anything to add? We were talking NFC side, saying, you know, who's basically gonna make this playoff and their divisional pushes.
I 100% believe that the Rams will be making the Super Bowl.
Nice.
If they win the Super Bowl, that's not something I'm gonna, you know, go with now. But I kind of have an interesting opinion on the Rams right now. The Rams are going all in right now. Next year, in the next couple years, they are gonna be in trouble
Cap room.
because they are gonna get hit really hard with cap space and not having enough money to re-sign all of this talent that they basically went out and acquired, because they're basically sending the message right now: we are either Super Bowl or bust. Because I don't see this team being a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. I could honestly see them winning the division for the next couple years.
You might be crazy. Sorry to interrupt you. They go.
You think I'm crazy?
No. I don't think you're crazy. I can see this is Sean McVay's first year, correct? Or second?
Second.
They were
Okay,
10-6 last year.
They go 16-0 this year. Win the Super Bowl. McVay retires with a 26-6 record at the Super Bowl. His belt. Don't want to you did the team without not losing more. But no, I agree with you, Barry. They're all in right now, but the good thing is they have a lot of young that can grow, and I think sometimes players, like you look, I'll make a comparison. You look at Golden. A lot of people, hate Golden State for their, their mentality and the fact that, they're probably going to repeat this year with the team that they have.
Yeah.
I feel like player chemistry has a big part of what the Rams are going to be in the next couple of years. I feel like they're going you know, they're gonna win for the next couple of years. Not the Super Bowl. I mean, potentially back to back. Maybe, you know, they win this year, don't make it next year, but in the third year they do. They do make it to another Super Bowl and win, because I think they just have enough talent and I think the right chemistry right now. I think the 49ers in that division, I'm not saying now, but in a couple of years, maybe the 49ers start pushing the Rams and start going, hey, you know, this is what we're about. You know, take us seriously. But they just got to stay healthy. So, I mean, a lot of 49ers fans were all in on Garoppolo. They were like, yeah, Garoppolo's great.
Yeah.
And they lost a couple of games, and then Garoppolo got hurt. And they got a lot of flack about it. And, you know, it's never good to celebrate an injury, no matter who's playing. But I thought it was a little funny, because I do follow a couple 49er accounts on iPhone. And they always, you know, talk all big and bad about Garoppolo. When he got hurt, they were just devastated. And I was like, this is what happens when you ride high on one player.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, you know, you have a bigger downfall. But yeah, I think this year, as we get closer to the playoffs, we're going to see a lot of crazy things happening competitively. Like, a lot of teams are going to make pushes in the right direction, set proper stones, basically, to plant their playoff seed.
Yeah, you know what needs to happen? Here's what needs to happen. Patrick Mahomes, we talked about this last night for a little bit. Patrick Mahomes needs to throw for 60 touchdowns and 5,700 passing yards this year. Win the Super Bowl, and then just retire.
Yeah, we did talk about this.
And then have us wonder for the next 10 years what could have been.
What could have been.
A great Patty Mahomes.
That could be
Lord.
literally just a dynasty that just died.
Right. Be like, you'd see a whole bunch of videos, you know, 10 years from now. Oh, whatever happened to Patrick Mahomes?
The what if.
KTO's
it's the new
still
big
doing
what
YouTube.
Ooh, here's a big what if. What if Drew Brees had actually signed with the Dolphins?
Oh my god. I mean,
I'm so salty about that.
I
Every
think,
time I think of it, I get upset.
Well, basically,
you know what's always crazy to me?
what?
Breeze was a Charger at one point.
Yeah, for
And
like 2 years.
Manning was a for 2 years or a year, or he had just gotten traded.
There was the whole thing with it was Manning and Phillips. Phillips was drafted by the Giants. Manning was drafted by the Chargers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But Eli Manning didn't want to play for the Chargers,
Yeah, so they got swapped.
so they got traded. Which,
And-
you know,
and-
would Eli Manning have 2 Super Bowl rings with the Chargers?
I think so.
No.
I think there's
Nope.
so much going on in that division that he couldn't win like he did with those 2 times he won with those Giants teams. However, I think we'd be talking about the Giants differently this year if Philip Rivers, if they had Philip. Dude, Odell would be having the way Rivers has been playing right now, bombing the ball down the field to Tyrell Williams and Mike Williams and
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. I feel like, you know, they'd be a 7.
That would be the top
6.
right now.
Yeah, they'd be like, you know, everyone should watch out in the NFC. This team's serious. And I believe that hype because, you know, Philip Rivers is one of those quarterbacks that isn't talked about a lot, but is really good. Like, you know, he's not a Breeze. He's not, you know, a Manning when Manning was in the league. He's not a Brady.
I bet you he's
He's,
still
you
gonna be
know,
Hall of Famer.
Potentially, I could see it. I see it in the sense of how well his career. You know, that's a team that needs to look at a quarterback in the next couple of years. I'm not saying right now because Rivers is doing well, but I think in the next they're probably going to have to draft a quarterback to keep themselves relevant, or they might the bottom of the pit, and they're. Next thing I'll bring up, I saw, because Aaron had posted on iFunny, was fantasy players for this week. Someone asked, who should we start? I think quarterback-wise, you gotta start Mahomes basically against everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially this week, he's playing Cleveland, and I think Cleveland's really trying to find out
That's gonna be a slaughter.
who they are.
I could see.
I could see Mahomes throwing for another 6 touchdowns.
No, I could see maybe 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 400+ yards.
Another quarterback I think is going to be a really good play if you have is Breeze against the Rams. I feel like that will be honestly a shootout.
Really?
Another good one would be Rodgers against New England.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a shootout, but I think that's going to be 3-4 touchdown game for both quarterbacks, Brady and Rodgers. It's going to come down to
No matter
who could
who
score.
wins, no matter who wins, who loses, it's gonna be a great game.
Yes, that's going to be a good game.
These are the kind of games that they need to have for Sunday Night Football, not Jets versus Browns.
I think another good Goff.
Oh,
this
yeah.
week.
Goff is I think, a reliable choice this season.
As much as this pains me to say it, Kirk Cousins against Detroit.
Yep.
I think he'll have a pretty good game against Detroit.
How about running backs?
Pitch quarterback that
Okay.
Newton against Tampa Bay. Even though Fitzmagic's back. Goes up 40. It'll be a good game. That secondary is still not great, and I think Newton can exploit it with Olsen and Devin Punches, all those guys that can stretch down the field. A risky win, quarterback to play this week, but could do good is Watson. I think Watson potentially could have a good game.
Who did the
But
Texans play?
it comes down to they play the Broncos this week.
Oh, okay.
It comes down to how well Demarius is playing. Running backs, always
Frank Gore. Start Frank Gore.
Frank Gore?
Saying it now.
Who are the Dolphins play this week?
The Jets.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
start
Frank
Gore.
Gore, Keenan Drake. Those are two good.
Honestly, okay, here's the thing. Devontae Parker. If you have him, start him. Here's why. Devontae Parker is in an interesting situation right now. Because he's at the risk of being either cut or traded at the end of the season, if you watched him in that Texans game, he is our #1 wide receiver right now, and he is making plays. So if you have Parker, start him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, I think that's a good play. Another good play is Latavius Murray against Detroit. So Max really settled into that system. They're a team that gets run against a lot. Carson showed that last week when they played Seattle. McCaffrey's going to be a good play. Hold on, I'm just going through the list and trying to see who's got the best matchups. James Conner will be a good play. Todd Gurley, as always,
Yeah.
will be a good play. You know, one that I've started to like. I think Tat Cohen.
Yeah.
Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, Tariq Cohen. He's coming up now, and he played PPR. You know, points per reception. He's a great add there, and you know, great start. Another good player to play this week will be Elliott. I think you know he'll be able to run against that Tennessee defense. You know, Kareem Hunt, of course. Miller, so he, you know, he might get some good. I think wide receiver. Like you said, Devontae Parker's a good start because he's going to try to play to increase his value, whether he's a Dolphin next year or not. You know, you got your big receivers. You know, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown. Those are definitely good plays against the teams they're playing against. Tyreek Hill, Robert Woods will be a good one. Michael Thomas will be another good one. Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson will be two good, you know, two good plays. Who else? You know, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Will be a good play. Watkins will be a good play. Smith-Schuster will be a good play as well.
Aaron Jones.
Hopkins will be a better play this week because, you know, they have Demaryius Thomas now. They have someone that will take away from Hopkins' attention a bit. And vice versa. I think Demaryius Thomas will have a pretty good game. I think this will be... can someone look up for me? Has he hit on this year?
Who?
Thomas.
Got you.
What are you looking for?
Demaryius Thomas, if he's hit 100 yards receiving this year.
I mean, he's got, like, in one game.
Yeah.
Or, like, how many games?
He has one game with 105 receiving yards. And in total, he has 36 receptions, 402 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I think this week against Denver, it won't be a revenge game. Because, like, you know, there was no ill will to Demaryius Thomas or the Broncos. But I think...
yeah.
Thomas showed against, I think, the Chiefs the first time they played that, hey, I can still, you know, make some plays. And I think that's a big thing for him. Who else would be a good play? Keenan Allen might be a good play against Seattle. That's one of those games where you just have to hope that Seattle doesn't show up defensively. Really, you know, play any of the wide receivers or basically anyone on that offense. Defensively, I think, you know, playing the Vikings defense would be a good one. Houston's defense might be good. Let's do.
Hey, guys, I gotta bow out for the night.
Alright, we'll talk there.
Yep, thanks for having me. Appreciate
No problem.
We
Like we were
are.
saying, Dallas's defense might do good. They're really just, you gotta look at the matchup and you gotta look at who's playing who. I don't think you play the Rams or the Saints defense, even though the Rams have a great defense. I'm really believing, unless if the Rams just shut down the Saints, I really think that's gonna be a offensive shootout between the two teams.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
We're over an hour and a half now. Just wonder
Okay.
if you want to wrap it up or if you want to keep going.
I mean, we can wrap up here. There was a topic that wasn't football related I want to talk about real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Last night, It's NBA related.
Oh, okay,
NBA
yeah.
Starting back up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
But no, there was a topic I wanted to bring up. Last night, the Celtics and Milwaukee played.
Yeah.
The Celtics won.
Yep.
And the Celtics as a team shot 24 threes. And, you go, hey, that's pretty good. But as a team, if you shoot 24 threes as a team, and then you look at Klay Thompson, who shot 24 threes by himself,
Uh-huh.
I think, this is just my hot take. The Golden State Warriors are winning the finals again this year. I don't think there's anyone in the league right now that can beat them. I think maybe next year there might be a lot of people who are going to go to LA to play with LeBron for his final years, and that might just dethrone the Warriors then. But that's my hot take for the NBA. I don't think the Warriors are going to lose,
Neither do I. Nah. Too high-powered.
Yeah. And, a lot of people hate that. Me personally... Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I think the Warriors high-powered. Something like that always makes me happy. I like seeing a team that plays well together and is good,
Yeah.
And it's gonna be crazy. This might be the first year we don't see LeBron in the finals after 9 years of him being in the finals.
Yeah, which just seems really weird, something just not used to.
Yeah, it's crazy that he went to the Lakers. I believe that, down the line before LeBron retires, he'll have another. I just don't think it'll be this year.
Yeah.
But no, I think we covered up pretty well overall. I know everyone wants to do predictions tomorrow. I might pop in to do some predictions, just get to see what's going on.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this week there's going to be a lot of good games. Rams, Patriots, Packers, and Texans, Broncos are your big games you want to look at. And then, a game that might, have some value to it is Falcons, Redskins. That might be a good game for the early window. But yeah, I think we were good to wrap up here and call it a night.
Yep.
I think we covered some things that people wanted us to talk about. I was able to cover everything I wanted to talk about. So if there's anything you want to add, if not, I'm good to wrap it up here.
Nope. I think we are pretty good.
All right.
Thank everybody for watching. If you watch the entire thing, we are going to post it on iFunny, of course, too.
Yes.
We do plan on doing these quite often with a lot of different people. So it's not just going to be one person. We will have special guests here and there. That is the plan, at least. So yeah, we're just going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone.